good friends, welcome new subscribers. I'm Brian from Apex Detail. Today we're going to continue on with our cutting compound series. We're going to keep it rolling. We've been through quite a few compounds by now, but we still have quite a few to go. I want to keep this going because I have a lot more I want to cover. Today we're going to put our focus onto the Pinnacle Advanced Compound, and we'll take it out into the shop first. We're going to do a couple corrections with it. And if it impresses, we'll drag out the test panel and test it, and then I'll rank it and rate it from there. Now, as for some of the compounds we have gone through so far, the ones that stand out the most, Sonax, Wizards, Nanoskin, and Angel Wax are the top four. We'll see if it impresses enough to rank this one and rate this one as well. So let's get out there and look at the Pinnacle Advanced Compound. The Pinnacle Advanced Compound, 8 ounces for $29.99, 16 ounces for $49.99, made right here in the US. I really wasn't aware of the compound until I started to do some research on all of the cutting compounds available out there. So I'm really not familiar with what it plays well with, what clear coats it works well on, hard or soft, scratch resistant. So we're just going to throw a bunch of pads out there, a couple different tools, see what works best. This is a single stage thing, 1972. It's been repainted. It has scratch resistant single stage. So it's going to take a little bit of some aggressive pads, and hopefully this compound is aggressive enough to remove all the imperfections, and there's a lot of them. Sand marks from me removing some runs. Somebody laid down some serious curtains on the paint job. There's swirls, there's scratches, there's nicks. There's all kinds of stuff here to take care of. All we really want to do is a two-step here, if I can get away with it. If I have to do a three-step, so be it. It's in the budget. But we just want to enhance this paint. Even though it's been repainted, it's been quite a while since it's been done, so it's oxidized as well. And we just want to make it look good. This thing is always out on the beach, and that's where it's going to head back out onto. And we just want to do a little bit of enhancement here. Not sure exactly what single stage was used here. Definitely an acrylic enamel. Could have been Eastwood, but it was quite some time ago at some backyard body shop, so who knows. I do know it's quite hard. Not a lot of transfer of paint from the card to my pad, which is a good thing, because normally on single stage acrylic enamel, I'll go through a ton of pads. Not getting a lot of transfer, so it's pretty hard, and I'm going to try a couple different pads and see which one works first. This one here, the green pad in this line, is a pad that's in between polish and compounding. So I want to use the less aggressive or least aggressive method first to see if that works. If it doesn't, we'll just keep stepping it up. No big deal. We have a lot of options. Now, you could do the initial cut with the long throw dual action polisher. I showed you that you could be successful doing that if you're not comfortable with the rotary. If you have any experience at all behind a rotary, use it to cut. It's so much faster, it's so much easier, and it's so much fun to use. So as you can see here, it did make some improvement, but not the way I wanted to. There were still some slight scratches and swirls left over, so I'm going to step it up, put a different pad on there. This is more of a cutting pad, dedicated cutting pad. So let's do another pass. And as I've showed before, I don't have time for the cute stuff or a lot of residue control, so I'm going to put the compound on the area I'm going to work with an applicator pad and spread it out even, and then I'll prime the pad with 2 or 3 pea-sized drops, spread it out, and then start to use the rotary. No residue, no sling whatsoever. We can get to work. The rotary I have here is an economical tool that can be purchased just about anywhere, Harbor Freight. I want to show you could be successful with these before I step it up and we start to demonstrate and review other rotary polishers and more expensive polishers and units. I have the speed of the control dial on in between 3 and 4. On this cheaper rotary here, it's printed in Roman numerals, and it goes from 1 to 6. And again, I have it in between 3 and 4, and I normally don't go any higher than that. Pressure, slight pressure, moderate. I have my thumb pressing down on top of the rotary. So let's remove the residue, and I could show you there is transfer of the single stage onto my rags, onto my pads. It's just not quite as bad as some of the other restorations I've done, especially with a lot of oxidation. You can see here, this is more like it. This is more what I'm going for after the first pass. So let's move on. On this 72 thing here, there are a lot of 90-degree angles, a lot of character lines. So I'm going to need a couple different size polishers, polishers that do different functions and fit in different areas, and I'll need different pads. So now I put down the rotary and pick up the Torque 10X, take off the 5-inch backing plate, put a 3-inch backing plate on there, and it fits perfectly in the smaller areas, and it makes a rather powerful 3-inch polisher. I have 3 or 4 3-inch polishers that I use. You've seen me use the Flex XFE80. This one here. I have a pneumatic. I have 2 pneumatics. One of them a central pneumatic, and then we're also going to take a look at the Roops LHR 75 pneumatic 3-inch polisher that you could put 3-inch backing plate and 3 and 4-inch pads on it. That little thing happens to have a 15mm throw, so I don't use it a lot. I'll use it when I need a lot of power in areas that give me room to use it. You can't go in corners with it, or it'll just smack that pad right up against edges and corners. But as you can see here, what we used here, the door turned out great. We're going to continue on. I was anxious to advance the correction on this, so I went ahead and took care of the entire passenger side of the thing here. And it's okay after the cutting stage. We're going to do some refinement with some polish and probably some finesse, or maybe even Angel Wax Perfect polish. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of it turns out. Okay, so we have a lot of obstruction up here in the front of the thing with all of these rails and fishpole holders and all types of cow pushers, all the attachments he has on here. We're going to be able to break out attachments for the rotary polisher, and those are going to be the extensions. You could break this down from 6-inch down 2 inches at a time, depending on how long you want it. You could put 1-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch, 5-inch, whatever backing plate you need to get in there and get the work done. Right now I have a 3-inch attached to it, and this works well getting in between the intricate designs and angles and all sorts of obstacles in the front of this thing. I'm going to try and put links for everything we used today. There are some kits out there for extensions for the rotary that are 3-piece. The extension I have here can be broken down into 5 pieces, so you have 2 extra lengths you can work with depending on what you're trying to reach. You can purchase sleeves for the extensions. I went out and just made my own out of some insulation for piping. A little bit thicker, however softer, and if it bumps up against anything, it's going to spin rather than catch on or rotate around and mark up whatever you get against. Okay, let me remove the residue. There's not much residue with this product using it or then after to remove. And it is what you see is what you get. So there's no fillers, no wax, no silicone. They do have a dedicated cleaner you could use to remove any leftover oils from their waxes or polishes before you add some protection. So that looks great. We're going to keep moving on here. This is the worst part of this little buggy, and it's the part, of course, facing the sun. So we have a lot of oxidation. It runs a little bit deeper than most of the vehicle. We have scratches on top of that from the sand from the beach after it's being cleaned and just rubbed right in there, grinding and plowing through the clear. So I'm going to attach a microfiber cutting pad this time and get the cutting done a little bit quicker than the other foam pads we used. Just another example here of how versatile the rotary is. Being able to use foam pads, microfiber pads, Eurofiber pads. If you really need some cut, you can switch to a couple different wool pads or hybrid wool pads, hybrid wool/foam pads. And it's a reason I'm going to be really pushing the rotary again in future videos. I put a bunch of rotary videos out at the beginning of the channel here as it started out, and I gave it a break. Now I'm going to start pushing again because I really think learning the rotary is important, especially if you want to save some time, have a little bit of fun on top of it. Okay, let's remove the residue and see what this pad has done. I have many options. If this didn't work out, I can also add another step if I wanted to, and I believe I may do that. As you can see here, there's a huge improvement. It's just not where I want it to be yet. I'm going to add a step and grab the long throw polisher with an old microfiber cutting pad that I have. Reapply some of the Pinnacle, go over it real quick, just one quick pass, and see where it leaves me. Thankfully, it's in the budget to take my time and experiment and use what works, which really makes the job, this particular job, fun for me here. I love working on this thing to begin with, but being able to have some flexibility to try different things is the cherry on top. This is, again, the worst part of the vehicle. Once this is done, the rest is going to be cake, so yeah, I could just mess around here and find a nice, suitable combination to make this look wet. And as you can see here, that's what we're well in the way of doing. And I have to refine this. Keep in mind, this is just a cutting step. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab probably the Americana Global Finesse because this is a little bit of a harder coat to it. If it was a softer, either single stage or clear, I'd go for the perfect polish. And that's what Junior's doing here. He's going to go ahead, refine it with Americana Global Finesse. I'll try and remember to put a link down below. I do have a dedicated video for the finishing polish, but it really is the cherry on top with this correction. As you can see here, we are now finished with the 1972 The Thing. A lot of fun, and what a pleasure to work on. So before we get to the final thought segment of the video, as we walk around the car here, just keep in mind the foundation of this correction was done with the Pinnacle Advanced Compound. So it's impressive. No dusting, long open time. The cutting may lack a little bit, but I think this warrants pulling out the test panel and rating it and comparing it to the other top compounds. All right, so it's done a few corrections. It's done a correction on soft clear, hard clear. We saw it here on the single stage, and I believe the Pinnacle Advanced Compound warrants a dedicated video where I drag the test panel out, test it, and then compare it and rank it and rate it amongst the other top compounds. Did very well on residue, residue control, low dusting, easy to work with, user-friendly, wipes off easy. The work time or the cycle time is long where you want it to be. It just lacked in one category, and it was a little weak on cut, I believe, but we'll see. We'll bring the test panel out and we'll see how far it goes. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.